So here is After Effects. I'm just going to do a bunch of things inside the program with shapes layers, text layers, all native inside of After Effects. I'm not going to bring in files from Photoshop or Illustrator. I'm just going to build everything right here inside of After Effects for you this morning. So the first thing I'm going to do is just, you can go right here, create a new composition or a new composition here. They try to make things a little bit easier with this big button right here. So I'm going to make a new composition. I say stick with 1920 by 1080. HD is a nice format size to be working on your computer. It's not too big. If this happens to you, you're zoomed way in, you can just go here and go fit, and then we'll fit the screen. The one thing I find with After Effects, sometimes you're zoomed way in. I always go right here and say fit. So I'm going to fit the preview to the screen here. Down in here, I'm going to control click. I'm going to go new, and I'm going to make a shape layer. Click on that shape layer. I'm going to show you some fun with shapes here very quickly. So up here, here's where you find your shapes. You can start with a star, polygon, ellipse, whatever. I'm going to go with the star. Show you something in a second here. So I've got the star here. If I hit the down arrow, it eliminates the points of the star until I see a triangle. I hit the up arrow, it adds points to my star. That's how you can add points or get rid of points on your star. And actually, that's how you make a triangle. Down arrow, you see a triangle. Up arrow, you add points. There you go. I'm going to go to my selection tool, or I call it the move tool. I can move that around here. I'm going to compare something. You see there's this add button right here. Okay, remember that. There's an add button. I'm going to add animations down here. I'm going to turn this off because I find, again, isolating things that I'm working on to be much easier. I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to go up here to the text tool. And then your character stuff is over here. So I usually just highlight the text, and then you can change this to any font you want. Something like that. Let's go with something a little more scripted. Cool. Let's just love you like a sister. I think I got this off of the font. And then you can change the size up here and do all the stuff that you can in any other program. So here's my text layer. There's my shape layer. Open these up. There's the add button. You saw that there's animate. These two buttons do essentially the same thing. They're just called something different. So you can animate the text, or you can add stuff to the shape and animate that. So turn this eyeball off. Turn this one on so I can isolate. I'm going to go here and I'm going to add some stuff. First, I'm just going to go to pucker and blow. Now you see the pucker and blow, it defaulted to something here and kind of rounded off the stuff here. So let's go and check out pucker and blow. You see that it opened up down here underneath the shape layer. So if this is collapsed, you open that up. You open that up, and there's pucker and bloat. It lets me change the amount and do stuff with this. So you can see right there, I can change the nature of this shape very quickly and do lots of cool things. So if I want to start, say there. There's my keyframing. Move this over here. Let's maybe make this 22. And I don't know, like say 52. Something a bit more drastic. Let's go 12. There you go. And now I've cycled through a few of them. I'm going to zoom in right here. I'm going to zoom this out. I'm going to go to the end here, make my work area from there to there. Let's see what this looks like. So there you go. I created a simple little loop just by using pucker and blow. I'm going to pause that. Zoom that in. If I want to make that loop last a little bit longer, I select all those keyframes, copy, Control or Command C, move my scrubber over here, Control or Command B for paste. And I can just keep moving the scrubber down and keep pasting that. Perfect. Now let's see what that looks like. So there's a quick shape animation done in under a minute, but once you get rolling on it. Likewise, you can just keep adding things to the shapes here. So you can go to add. You could check out twist, let's say. You want to put a twist on there. There's the twist. Same principle applies. You can change the twist angle. You could have that rock back and forth like this. So let's go and do that. Let's rock it. Back it that way. Let's go that way. Usually I try about 4 cycles or so just to do something here. Let's spread these around. Preview to see how fast this is. That's way too fast. So I'm going to spread these out. That is not what I wanted to go for. So I'm moving these twists. I'm going to twist it out a little bit slower. That's much better. There you go. So now I like the speed of that. Select all of those. Copy, Command or Control C, and then paste, Command or Control V. Command or Control V. Let's shuffle these down a bit. Move that over here. Now let's see what that looks like. Perfect. So a simple shape animation right there, done in no time, just by adding things right here in the Add button. Going to collapse that. I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to turn my text layer on here. Open this up. There's the Animate tab right there, or the Animate button. I'm going to try something else here, tracking. There we go, tracking's working. So tracking looks good. Tracking changes the space in between the letters, so I can collapse them together. So let's say I wanted the text to reveal coming out from itself. I'm going to go to this tracking area here, and I'm going to move everything so it's all collapsed onto itself. So I clicked on the wrong button here. I should have clicked on the tracking amount. Now it'll work. Move this over. Let's spread that out. There you go. It added a keyframe here. So that should work. There you go. That is a nice kind of like text reveal if I want to do that, right? Then I could, if I wanted to make it like a little bit more interesting, I can move that and kind of make it look like it's wiggling. It's like a ball bouncing, and it slows down a little bit, like it bounces out and then needs to like recoil a little bit. Let's do that. Make it look like it's wiggling a little. There you go. Boom. Let's see what that looks like. There you go. And then you could play around with that, like if that was a little bit too fast. You could spread those out like that. See what that looks like. There you go, that's better. And then if that was too harsh of a movement, remember you can change these from linear keyframe animations to Bezier. So I'm going to select those. I'm going to right click. In this program, it's Keyframe Assistant. And I'm going to go Easy Ease. In Premiere, it's called Bezier. But Easy Ease or Bezier will change it to a smoother motion. There you go. That was a bit smoother. Yeah. Now what I do is once I get the motion of my text isolated that I wanted, remember I isolated the motion of my shape. So let's see what those things look like together. Right, so then you've got this, now you've got some creative decisions to make. I can go down into the shape layer if that's a bit too big or in the wrong place, and I want it kind of centered and everything. Might look better there. Might look better as scaled up a little bit. Like these are all this sort of decisions that I'm making. It comes in, right? Let's say I usually get my endpoint. I'm going to here, go down into here, close the contents. Transform is in After Effects is where I can motion control scale and position. So I'm going to increase the scale here and move the position over here slightly. And I'm going to enable those keyframes right there. Then what I might do at the very beginning, have it so small that it comes out. And let's move the position over. See, I can see the center here. I can move that down here. right? Now let's see, I've got my loop kind of star movement, and now I'm going to scale it up to reveal that. There you go. So that feels a bit more like an animation now, like all the parts working together. So essentially, that's the basics of creating text and shape animations together.